Well, hey there, team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to a bit more Stationeers. We're going to continue along with our run. A couple of things. Someone pointed out that my dish had stopped tracking, and I appreciate you pointing that out. I suppose we must have reset the logic somehow when we messed with the power. So, well, yeah, see, none of them are getting power at the moment. Let's see what's going on here, shall we? Logic reader on. Oh, now isn't that fascinating? Because I've done this, you can't draw power from the grid. Will they all turn back on when the sun shines on them? Hard to say. Oop. And this is yet another example of why we need power source backing this thing up. Hang on, so what have I done wrong here actually? They're all on. It is drawing power. What has happened here? Daylight sensor's working. I mean, obviously there's no problem with the power pass through because we're drawing power. Our memory's good. Here's a puzzle for me to solve. So, what's going on here? Logic writer, 93. It's definitely on. Bit strange that it's not drawing power. I wonder. What have I done here? I haven't burnt any circuits out or anything like that. That is really bizarre. I'm confused. I don't want to go assuming there's glitches or anything like that, but what is going on here? Logic reader. Should be daylight sensor. Oh wait. Solar panel. Oops. Solar angle. Well, I guess. Oh my goodness, what have I done? I've made a dog's breakfast of this scenario. This is crazy. It's drawing power from the dish. This dish is drawing power right now. Right, we turned this off. I mean, I can pull this bloody thing out. Now it's going to work? At least we got some flashing along the line. So it's not glitched or anything like that. It could be... Oh my goodness, I'm off. I'm flying. It's probably just something I've overlooked. That's okay. What we'll do is we'll reverse the facing at the very least, and we'll revisit it. But having it have its own power source to make sure that it runs independently of the grid. Well, at the moment, it's at the mercy of the dish. If the dish isn't getting any power, it won't run power either. So, yet another thing for us to sort of chip away on. Now, also, how did we end up going with this? Looks like it made it all the way down. All right, we've got some coal deposits. We've got some iron. That was weird. It's kind of scary, actually. Yeah, so my theory is, I suppose, that we drill the hole and then we come down exactly like this and we dig out the deposits, and if we have ground penetrating radar, we can potentially see what else is going on there, and then we go and drill a hole, you know, with a bit of a gap moved along, and we just do that sort of drilling. But, as I say it already, there is a problem, and that is that we will have significant storage issues. Especially with, like, volatiles and all that sort of stuff. Now, workaround that people have had us do in the past, people suggested to me, was building tool belts. Now, in order to do that, you have to make the tool manufactory, or whatever it's called. I think... There it is. 20 iron, 10 copper. Okay. The copper situation, what's that look like? Because we've got a big old bunch of iron in that hole, so I'm not that worried about that. So what we're going to do... 4 copper, that's not going to cut it. What we're going to do is make this manufactory to then make a mining belt, and you can use that as a form of storage for the delicates, right? Oh, look, we've got plenty of iron ore in there already, so that's good. So we'll get to work with that. We'll let that run another cycle. It can use the heat. We're going to need copper, as always. So we'll probably have to go bloody shopping for that. But yeah, there's always something, you know? There's always a new something getting thrown in the works. Someone suggested that I build a static battery. It's probably a good idea, but I believe I would need... Yeah, I could make a battery charger, which is helpful. But I'd have to research that there. We're still going to need copper. Still going to have the same problem. Right, so... oh, I changed it to battery. And what were we going to do? Tool. Wait, why can't you search for tool? Because we're on the wrong machine? No. Oh yeah, we are actually. My bad. Well, that's one way to combine the ingots. There, so we need another 6 copper. So we'll have to go looking for that. Now in the meantime, what can we do? It's a little bit limited what we can do in the dark sort of thing, but I might actually pop down this hole and drill out some of this gear, you know? We've already got a little bit of volatiles, so... Holy heck. Now the radar would come in very helpful here as well, because there's probably some errant bits in the wall that I haven't been able to eyeball as well, you know? In fact, see how it's got that little... That's indicating that there's some there, so... The text sort of gives it away a bit.
Filter low.
Now there's something we need to deal with. Because that's my second filter to go. I need to stop drilling these bloody things out, because... I am filling my bag up with nothing but volatiles.
Hunger. Caution.
Goodness me. That is a lot of volatiles. Okay. Well, this mining operation is starting to make more sense. So there's another priority we need to sort out. Dirt canister. Okay. Sounds very astroneer. Filters. Can we build them by default? We can. 5 iron. Okay, well, that's an easy enough fix. So we'll make a couple of these. Beautiful. Breathing easy. And we'll check back up on our muesli bar. Surely we've nearly run out of them. Cool. Yeah. Look, it might be painfully obvious. I apologize for whatever's happened to the logic. But yeah, I couldn't figure it out. But we'll wait for the sun to come up. I should be able to correct it, hopefully. It looked like it, I saw something flashing in there, which means that area is still receiving power. So that's something, you know what I mean? But yeah, we need copper and we need storage. Yes, we need to make the tools. Can we get some... Is this a wall kit? No, this is a... No, it is a wall kit. Yeah, because we could probably... probably get rid of this wall nonsense. Where are my iron sheets? Oh, well, I want to make iron sheets. There we go. And I think, looks like the sun's starting to come up. Thank goodness. Here comes the sun. Alright, so... This thing's pretty good so far. I mean, it popped out a little bit of iron that we let roll down the hill or so. Oh, it popped out quite a few iron poos. We could probably should dig a hole for that or something. You know what I mean? Maybe have like a little... Might be worth considering actually, like the appropriate spacing behind to catch. You know? If they're going to go rolling down the bloody hill. And I'm going to go digging multiple of these holes. Alright. Let's, Alright, let's try and figure this out real quick. If it says off, that probably indicates it's on, right? I know I didn't touch this one at all, right? Yeah, cool. Alright, cool. Solar daylight sensor, solar angle equals 0. Okay. Oh, you know what? And I would have broken this further because when I pulled out the things that it was detecting, in that split second, they weren't there anymore. So math, input 1 will be logic reader. And input 2 will be memory. And divide. Why are we getting 0? Solar angle. Divide. In logic math. Out. It's not changing. What on earth have I done here? Daylight sensor. Logic reader. I don't know what to tell you. There's something seriously broken about this, and I actually don't know what it is. Very frustrating. Oh my goodness.
Tech on.
Right to the solar panel. Right, vertical. See, it's not being fed. I don't even know how it's getting this number, right? If this is feeding 0, and we're doing a divide equation, 0 divided by memory, you know, how do you even have a stored number? Logic reader. Oh my god. Look, I won't dwell on it any longer, guys. I don't want to frustrate. Plus, I also want... I want to find some copper. But if any of you can figure out what's going on, like I said, it could be painfully obvious. To me, not so much, though. I tell you what, that's one thing. Like, now look, let's just consider that, like, say I am wrong and it's really obvious. That's fine. I'll take the L on that one and the correction. That's all good and well. But, like, to discuss the hypothetical, right, the lofty concept, in a game that's sort of very early access and is sort of built around being very difficult to understand, it is so crucial that that's not a bug, right? So I'm more than willing to say that I've misunderstood something, right? But part of me in the back of my mind is like, what if it's something that's bugged out there? And it's sort of like there are normal bugs and there is a bug in that situation where you're dealing with a complicated system, and to have a bug in your fundamental logical rules is kind of unforgivable. Like, the parallel that comes to mind is it would be like having a critical typo in a fundamentals of engineering, you know, like physics and construction and all that, right? So you're sort of just trying to do your basic concept on stresses, and the text that's teaching you has an error that breaks the entire thing. That would be the equivalency. So that's why it's sort of like, I really hope that I have made an error and it hasn't bugged out, because you just cannot have a bug on that sort of level. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Yeah. God, imagine that though. Imagine doing that. You're in uni and the textbook teaching you the fundamentals of some concept has an error in it, or is like, it doesn't make sense, or it teaches you incorrectly. That would be so bad. Oh man. I mean, I get typos, but you know what I'm talking about. The hypothetical error that I'm talking about would be significant. Like, more than a typo. Just sort of that one typo that happens to be in the most, like, the last thing you would ever want to be the typo. Not like a fundamental formula coming out wrong. Oh man, that'd be bad. Yeah, right, we'll have to look at it. Did it end up getting power when I turned this off? Did that work? Oh god, I just turned off my thing behind me. See, I can't let it go, eh? No, they're getting power. Like, I gotta stop. I said I'd come back to it. I'll come back to it. Meanwhile, what were we even doing? We want to make the tools manufacturer, right? There we go. So yeah, another building, and this one obviously makes tools. Got the new sound effects. Oh man, they're all over it. Look, now it's getting power. Why are you getting power? That's interesting. Because this grid is full. Is it tracking now? Maybe, maybe not. Solar angles going in. Is that twisting? It looks like it might be twisting. Maybe not. That's interesting. There's something about how power works in this. Huh. $93. It doesn't make sense. 171. Oh, yeah, no, that does. It's a percentage. Yeah, it's tracking now. Jesus. Okay, fine. We got there. Alright, so only when that was full and that grid had no draw on it did that start working? Is that what happened? Okay, there's our tool thing. Now here's another thing for consideration, right? How do you hypothetically reset this grid? Well, okay, you would have to have the grid powered, and you would have to have the daylight sensor input its value through it, so that when the daylight comes up, or whatever you want to call it, this thing would immediately start to recenter onto the other side. It would be given a command to go to 1 degree or whatever, right? But it can't do that now because we've got no power to relay that through. So you need a power system in there. Never mind all this sort of bugginess. But the thing is, as we said, this seems to track through the night because there's some sort of, in the way that they've coded the sun to exist. But actually, no, as I say it, what I was going to say is that would be a big problem and almost an exploit. It's not really, because as long as you had an emergency backup power system to jumpstart this in the morning, once that receives the angle in the morning, it will tell this to go to 1 degree and it will come back. So the tracking error doesn't really matter, to be perfectly honest. What matters is that we need a power source injected into this. Otherwise, this doesn't even work. I have to reset it every night myself. What just happened then? Wait, why'd it move? That thing moved. Bloody possessed bullshit. There's some weird stuff going on here, right? Like, it's just in the way that it's all built. And at the very least, we know empirically that the thing still tracks the sun through the night, through the planet, which it shouldn't do. That's a coding issue. Anyway, that's cool. I know we dragged around on that, but sometimes that's how it works, you know. It's all about figuring out the problems as they arise. Team, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I will catch you guys on the next one.